Alrighty. We are live on Facebook
Awesome.
and on Instagram.
Oh my goodness. We're live everywhere, people.
Hello, everybody.
This is so exciting. We get excited every single time, you guys. You have no idea the shenanigans that need to happen. Can you see me? I'm trying to see where I am here on
I
this
can
map.
see you on both Instagram
You
and
can?
on Facebook.
All right. You know what? I may have to do this. Hang on. Let me just, because these are two different things. Huh. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, how does this look?
You look fabulous,
I
Vita.
look yeah, I do. No, I don't mean me. I'm just trying to figure this out. All right. Okay, you guys, we are nope, this is not what I wanted. All right, hang on just 1 second and we're gonna get this together, or I'll get this together. Okay, this is as good as it's going to get.
I think it's great.
Welcome everybody. Hey, you guys, welcome everyone. Actually, thank you so much for joining us. This is our episode number 51 of Window Treatment Friday Live. And today we have a very special episode, right, Kim?
Yes, we do. Today is May's designer highlight, this month's designer highlight. So we have about 6 interior designers that we're going to highlight and showcase their work. So here we go.
Awesome. Here we go. Without further ado, the first designer is actually one of mine. Her name is Shoshana Gosselin. Full disclosure, we do not do any window treatment work for her, but I have been admiring her work in general, her interior design work for some time now, especially all through the 2020, that last year that we had all picked up, where social media became so prevalent in our communication and entertainment and education and everything else. So it's really been quite a year for creating those social media virtual relationships, and this is one of those. So Shoshana is incredibly talented. She is the owner of Love Your Room interior design firm. You can find her on loveyourroom.com. She's active on Instagram at Love Your Room. And Shoshana has been in business for about 15 years. She is based in Lehigh Valley, which is like, if you think of the north of Philadelphia, well, like northeast, the Pocono area, essentially. So it's about an hour and a half, an hour to 2 hours from Philly. And she's just created a really amazing business with her love for interior design, love for happiness. That's kind of her motto: create places that make you happy. And her style is very current, very sort of I wouldn't say understated necessarily, but very updated, very clean, very streamlined. Her color palette is very current. So she has a really great Instagram feed that I would encourage everyone to go check out. She's been featured on TV quite a bit on TV 69 news, and where she talks all about window treatments. No, scratch that. I talk about window treatments. We talk about window treatments, where she talks all about interior design and the tips and tricks and how to make it all happen. She's also been featured in multiple magazines and publications. She's got great accolades, and recently she's also been featured in this speaker series in Kutztown University, and which is also in Lehigh Valley, not too far from it. And actually, I know it personally because my brother went to Kutztown. I went to Albright, which is very close to Kutztown. So anyway, she's a local gal, and just became a friend through social media, through Instagram, really. So check her out for sure. And this is the project that I wanted to showcase. Now, these, I believe, are actually ready-made drapes, but I, as much as I love custom drapes, I also can appreciate when a ready-made drape is done well and when it's used appropriately. And I think that's exactly what Shoshana is doing here. Now, first of all, the horizontal stripes. Now, Kim and I did a whole episode on horizontal stripes. So you guys need to check it out. That was just a few episodes ago. And what she's done here was, I think, is really quite remarkable, because the drapes here are the heroes. And you know, if you've listened to Kim and I long enough, you know how much we love when the drapes are the heroes. Everything is somewhat understated down below, but it is the drape that's really kind of screaming at you and saying, hello there, I'm right here. So it's with the pattern of the horizontal stripe, it's with the color palette, that sort of orange auburn kind of color palette, which is not at all featured or very maybe minimalistically featured in the furniture. So these are grommeted panels, and they are mounted on decorative hardware about halfway between the ceiling and the window. And also I really like how she's done one width of panel on the window and then two widths of panels on flanking the bed. And so this showcases that it's okay to use two different fullnesses, and it's okay that drapes don't have to be exactly matching each other in the same room. So Kim and I have talked about using different styles, and here Shoshana is showing us how to do a drape in the same color, same pattern, but to use two different fullnesses there. So I think she's done a really fantastic job in this particular project. She is a really quite an upcoming rising star interior designer. Like I said, out of Lehigh Valley, she has an amazing sense of humor. She does everything with a lot of laughter and a lot of kind of self-deprecating humor sometimes. She's a lover of hats, and she's just an all in all a really delightful person. So loveyourroom.com and Love Your Room on Instagram.
Perfect. Well, yeah, I love the example, like you said, Vita, of the showing one width on the one window versus there being two widths on either side. So that's a great example of that.
Exactly, especially on drapes that are that prominent.
Yes.
You know, if you think about it, if they were like neutral or gray to complement the bedding, you know, it would have been one thing to take a risk and do them in two different fullnesses, but what widths, I should say, but to use something that prominent and that vivid and that much of a statement in the room and take that risk, that kind of takes risk taken to the next level. So great job, Shoshana.
Yes.
All right.
Very nicely done. Okay. This next designer that we are highlighting is Alyse Eisenberg. And we actually, the project that we are going to feature is a project that we just finished with Alyse. Alyse, her studio is called Studio Alyse. They are a full service interior design studio, and they focus on the home. Their rooted core principles are creativity, sustainability, wellness, and balance. They work with architects, contractors, and all the in-between to kind of get their vision and their client's vision to light. And Alyse was originally born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, and now she spends her time between Charleston and Brooklyn. So this project that we did with Alyse was it was in New York City in Chelsea. And if you want to pop it up, Vita.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm doing a photo op here while you're talking.
Multitasking over there.
I am. Yeah, Lisa's taking pictures of me.
So this is a project that we did that we actually started pre-COVID. So, and we just finished installing it about a month ago or so. So what everything, as we know, in COVID kind of got delayed. And so the construction on this apartment did not start until after COVID and things, COVID isn't done yet, but until after things started to open up again. So it was really great being able to collaborate with Alyse on this. And it's just a true testament to her core values about, you know, working with the different trades, bringing the different trades to kind of help bring her client's vision to light. And what we did here was we installed mock Roman valances. And what you don't realize is we had a couple of challenges with, these are doors going out to a balcony. And then as a lot of New York apartments, the windows were tilt-in windows. So she wanted the valances to have some type of a presence. So we had them installed just above where we knew that the doors would be able to swing open and the windows would be able to tilt open. What you don't see is underneath the valances are roller shades, blackout roller shades. So that was another challenge too, because they had these windows, I believe, had smaller transom windows that she was okay with covering, but she wanted to continue to bring the height into into the bedroom. So that's why we brought the valances. As you know, Vita and I are very big fans of installing up and going
Lifting everything up.
as go going as high as we can possibly go. And so underneath that, you don't see that there are roller shades. So when they want the rooms to be dark, they just pull down the roller shades, and all the other times of the day when it's up, it really clears out of the way. And yeah, so we were really happy with the way that the project turned out.
This is a really great example, Kim, of not being afraid of how long the valances are going to become if you take them all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Because you remember, guys, when we do these, when we make decisions on how long, how wide, how, whatever the dimensions are, we need to make those decisions when we're looking at a blank window or at a blank wall, or sometimes the wall is not even finished yet and we have to make those decisions.
Yep.
So when you're looking at a finished project, we had to make that decision 2 months, 3 months, however many months prior to that. And that's really the hard part. And I find people calling. And so I find that a lot of times, even when the designer wants to take a treatment to the ceiling, which is what both Kim and I recommend a lot, but the window or the door is maybe 25 inches below, or sometimes even 30 inches below the ceiling. And that's a pretty big distance. So the treatment becomes really, really quite long, because usually if you think about the kind of standard dimension of any valance would be anywhere between 18 to 20 inches. So when you're looking at like 25 to 30 inches for a valance, you just you kind of get these heart palpitations, like, ooh, is it the right thing? Is it going to be too overpowering? Is it too much? And so what I think you guys have done here is really have taken that risk.
Yeah.
And elevated the eye line to the ceiling, and at the same time brought it to the dimension where you want it to be. You've covered the roller shades, you made the doors still functional, and you were not afraid to take that risk of making those extra long valances. And I think in this case, even though the fabric is neutral, they do make a statement as if the fabric was high pattern, high color.
No, and with that too, I want to say, I can't off the top of my head, don't quote me on this, but these were at least anywhere from like 36 to 39 inches, these valances.
They look it. Yes, absolutely. They look that. Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
All right, the next designer that I would like to finish is Jennifer Carter. The name of her company is Studio Envie, and she's someone who we do business with. We do business.
Say that 3 times fast.
Exactly. So she actually came to us last year around February, March to do a project for her for a Bucks County designer house, which happens every year, just like it happens in a lot of various counties and places. I think a lot of designers are familiar with the whole concept, and sure enough, it also exists here where I live in Bucks County. And we did, I believe we did a couple of Roman shades for her, and everything went fine. And that was in March, except that on March 17th, everything got shut down. Yeah. And so even though we've done our work for her, she's put in so much work and so many resources, financial and blood, sweat, equity as well. That designer house never actually happened in 2020. Yeah. And that was very, very sad. And I thought of her the entire year, and how devastating that must have been to have put so much energy. But there's many stories like that of 2020. And so fast forward to 2021, she contacted us again, and she wanted us to do another project for her. So by project, I mean another designer house, which actually did happen this year. But what I just want to tell you a little bit about her, Jennifer actually has prior to starting her design firm, she has some corporate experience from public relations, in public relations, I should say. And in 2012, she decided to utilize her expertise and innate talent in organizing, and then she parlayed that to her degree from Parsons and ultimately her interior design firm. So she's been a full-time interior designer since 2014, and she's doing business in New York, in New Jersey, in Connecticut, in Pennsylvania, in Florida. I mean, she's really so multifaceted. She does a lot of her own construction, her own GCing. She's just super nice person, and she's been such a pleasure to work with. So you can check her out at studioenvie.com and also Studio Envie on Instagram as well. She has a really great feed there also. This is the draperies that we did for her. Now, the picture was taken just after the draperies were installed, before the furniture was installed. So I don't quite have the picture of the finished room. But anybody local can check it out by actually going to the designer house of Bucks County. And then eventually, I know Jen and everybody will have pictures of the finished room too. Actually, I was there when she had the photographer come in and do the professional photography of the room. But just like you see here, you know how the drapes are, they look very serene and not quite understated is not quite the right word, but I think serene really is the word that comes to mind. That's kind of her style too. So definitely check her out on her website and her Instagram and see how kind of monochromatic and understated, minimalistic approach that she takes, a lot of white space. And but in this particular project, we were so happy to have been able to help her because the timing of it was actually just around our fire. So we had the fire on a Friday, as Kim very well knows, goes just under the window treatment, after the window treatment Friday live. And then that Monday we were back to work, and that Tuesday we lost her fabric, so she had to reorder the fabric. She overnighted the fabric, and then I think 3 days later we installed these drapes. I mean, that's how fast. Yeah, so this was our first project right after the fire, when our new workroom was operational here out of my house. So these drapes have a lot of sentimental value to me.
Yeah, because like what I don't think that the average person or designer understands, especially if you've never done a show house. Usually when you do a show house, you have like a half a second to make window treatments. It's like, okay, show houses, we're getting ready to do the show house and we have to install it in 2 weeks. It's like, okay, like, so it's always the pressure of getting it done in time for like not even before the show house opens, it's for the photography, because that's the important part. It's like you have to be ready for the photography section, and each designer has a date and a time that their room is getting photographed. So you have to make sure you get it done and installed for that. And to have that done and to have this be the first project that you were able to turn around in 3 days after your fire, I mean, kudos to you, Vita, on that.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim. That was a, she's such a lovely person. And she also has an associate, another designer who works with her. They're, I believe, a firm of 2, but they do so much amazing work and really deep, not just decorating, I mean, design, construction, GCing, like I said, all over the East Coast, really. And just to have not been, and also after everything that happened in 2020 with this designer house, I have everything that she's invested in it, and it never went through. For me to not be able to support her fire, how does that saying go? High water, fire, whatever.
No, hell or high water.
Hell or high water. I'll know fire in that saying.
But you could put it fire, like we can tweak it for you.
We can tweak it, I know. So it didn't matter what was happening in my life, in my business, and I was gonna, by golly, I was making it happen for her.
You were gonna get it there, yeah.
Get it done.
Okay, the next designer that I wanted to feature is Vanessa Deleon from Vanessa Deleon Associates. Vanessa is an interior designer based out of New Jersey and New York. I first learned about Vanessa when I was in college, and Vanessa was actually on HGTV's Design Star, the design competition, their first season. So when I was watching the show while I was doing my drafting, because I was in interior design school at the time, and I was just like, wow, a girl, a designer from Jersey. So I was rooting for her, in the beginning because she was based out of Jersey, and then because of her design. So fell in love with Vanessa. all those years ago. And Vanessa has also been featured on other HGTV programs, on the Food Network's Restaurant Impossible, NBC's Open House. A lot of her projects have been featured on that program. Her husband owns the Brownstone Pancake Factory. So if you go on their Instagram, you can get a lot like savory meals. They do a lot of creative things with pancakes and different milkshakes. So you're going to want to check them out. Her designs of are really, she brings like a fashion approach almost. Like it's a very high end. She uses her Cuban roots. She has said that she grew up, her family would make furniture. So she learned her work ethic right from the beginning, right from the time that she was a kid, and she brings that into her interior design business. She's also been featured on Luann's podcast, and she was, I think, episode number 20. And the only reason why I know that is because when Luann was doing the podcast, and when she first had the idea of the podcast, she was like, give me a list of like 20 designers where you really want to hear their story and hear a conversation with them. And Vanessa was on the top of my list. So when she got Vanessa on the podcast, I was super excited, and just hearing her story and how, a lot of people, you just don't show up on TV. You just don't, producers just don't call you and go, hey, I liked your stuff. So just hearing how she would work during the day on her business and then work on her PR at night by herself in the beginning and really hustle is just a true testament of, someone's passion and their drive.
Yeah.
So
discipline and grit and
yeah,
determination.
and it takes a lot. Like, HGTV isn't just going to pick up the phone and go, hey, I saw your Instagram, want to come on our show? Like, you have to have the goods to back it up. Now, we do not do the window treatments for Vanessa, but I just still wanted to just feature this master bedroom project. So you can see here how Vanessa does take a lot of risk with the type of wallpapers that she picks, or there's always that like one wow piece in her work. So not only does she do gorgeous residential interior, she's also designed restaurants, homes in the Bahamas, and things like that, just like all over. Homes that have been featured on television shows and whatnot. But what I loved about this was the height of the drape. I love a good angle or a good circular rod, again, because geeking out here. And I just love how everything is all connected. The purple drapes that kind of coordinate with the wallpaper, the marble looking wallpaper, the blue electric chairs, that it just all, like, you just fall in love with this master bedroom space.
It's awesome. It looks amazing. So rich.
Yeah.
And just, ugh.
There is a
like
level.
Put it around me like big warm blanket.
Yeah. And there is a level of high-end design, and you can just tell right from her Instagram feed, from her just different photos that she's posted, not only in residential, but also in commercial. Like the restaurants that she has designed are just like top notch, like really cool, fun, out of the box ideas.
Nice. Beautiful job. Beautiful. Okay, the next designer that I would like to showcase is Marguerite Rodgers of MargueriteRodgers.com and Marguerite Rodgers on Instagram as well. Now, she goes by Meg, and she is a powerhouse of an interior designer, not just here in the local Philadelphia community, but also in the entire industry. She's been an interior designer for over 4 decades. She runs an amazing firm of over 10 people, and she has been featured in every single publication. She's won every single award there's to be won. If I were to mention every single one, it would take 10 of our shows. And her work is just amazing. She does, much like your previous designer, she does residential, she does commercial, she does restaurants. She's just amazing. The depth of her work, the breadth of her work. And when you look at her style and the way she approaches everything, and here is like beautiful. One of the examples. Now this happens to be a light color palette. The previous designer that you showed was a very dark, rich color palette, but what I'm meaty. Yeah, what I'm seeing in this exactly. There's a lot of substance here. There is this unapologetic approach to these are the pieces that we need. These are the accessories that we need. This is where we're going to position them. This is how we're going to do it. Not a single detail goes untouched or unthought of. And there's a lot of methodology that is in this, clearly rooted and grounded in a lot of education. And yes, Meg went to an interior design school. She actually studied woodworking, and that's her background. It comes from some family background as well, and it's just you can clearly see how seasoned she is, how confident she is in her approach, just by looking at the pictures alone, let alone her style, the way she conducts business. Now, also, full disclosure, we do not do window treatments for her, but it does not prevent me from oohing and eyeing over what she has done. And of course, I also really respect her for being a philanthropist here in the Philadelphia area, as well as supporting charities all throughout, and also being on boards of directors for some local associations and organizations. So, I mean, this is somebody who has so much experience and has been in the industry for a long time, who has seen a thing or two, who has a full team of people supporting her, and who she is bringing with her, much like Corey Damon Jenkins used to say, or said in that Luann Live, he's climbing that ladder, but he's not taking it away, lifting it away. He's helping other people climb behind him. And that's exactly what Meg is doing for her people as well. And really for the entire industry, as well as for a lot of charity organizations. So I have an incredible amount of admiration, respect, and just in awe of what she's done. And just to take this example, clearly she understands window treatments. If you look at the breadth of her work, pretty much every project that needs a window treatment has it, and it's clearly a custom window treatment. It's also done unapologetically in that it's not a teeny tiny little sort of an afterthought. Window treatments are clearly present and well thought through and designed into the project. It's never just something like, oh wait, we need window treatments. It's part of the whole breadth of what she's bringing to the table. So this particular project was done in a high rise in Center City, Philly. I can tell by looking at the city line in the back. And as often those high rises have in many cities, you have floor to ceiling windows. And this is a bedroom, and what do you do with them? Do you put roller shades? Do you put curtains? And what Meg had decided to do here is do functional draperies. They're mounted on a functional but concealed rod, so the rod is not necessarily visible or decorative, I should say. So it's a concealed rod, and the drapers go all the way up to the ceiling. It was hard to tell whether it was just at the ceiling or whether they were inside a pocket. It could go either way, but she could have split them in two directions, have split draw, but I think what she wanted to do is really preserve that view, and it's already broken up by a column there in the center, but that's just part of the building. So my thinking is that she didn't want to also break it up with pattern and color of the drapery. But again, she didn't shy away from it. It's still a pretty wide stack on each side. It's just not in the middle. So the view is clearly seen. It's beautiful. The drapery is off to the side, wonderfully positioned and being present. And of course, it's also functional for it being the master bedroom. So kudos on this project and on the many, many amazing projects that she's done for the Philadelphia community, and in general, what she's done for the design industry.
Yeah, and this is a good example of stacking, because we often get that. I don't know about you, Vita, but I get that question
all the time,
especially when it's a condo like this that has a view. Like we do it when we do projects on the waterfront here in New Jersey, where Manhattan is the view. We often get like, well, I don't really want to cover my view, and what's the stack going to be like? And so you have to come up with these creative ways that I'm like, okay, where is the best view and where can I stack these panels where it's not going to block? Because that's really why your clients buy these spaces. It's because of the view. You're investing in floor to ceiling windows and wall to wall windows. And, the apartments with the view tend to have the higher price tags, truthfully. So then when the window treatment people come in and they're like, okay, now we're going to cover half of it, I almost feel like the bad guy. And like, it's like, sorry, but
Sometimes.
like, so you kind of have to come up with creative different ways on how to get all the things that, check all the boxes. But so this is a good example of how big a stack is on a wall-to-wall drape.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, even though a good quarter of the width of each window is covered by the drape, it doesn't feel like it's covering the view.
No.
Because of the size of the windows, there's so much to see out, and you can still see the entire city line. And that's what I feel a lot of times the folks don't understand. If you have a big window, if a portion of it is covered, even 10%, 20, even 25%, you still have an amazing view to look out.
Right.
And that view is framed by beautiful drape and gorgeous fabric and texture.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And the next designer is one that I chose to highlight. This is Tina Ramchandani of Tina Ramchandani Creative. At this firm, they design warm, modern interiors that capture their clients' polished style. Their passion is the soulful minimalism. Sorry,
Say that twice.
Yeah. Which allows their clients to experience the things around them that matter so they can focus on the people that matter. And what I love about that theory and that concept, I feel like over the years, culturally, it's all about getting the stuff and how much stuff we can pack in, that I think this whole trend now where everyone's kind of doing like the minimalism, like slowing down, editing out all the extra things that are not needed. I think that's really important. She really brings that into the aesthetic where there's not like an extra tchotchke or something that's like, what is it bringing to the design? So it's all very clean line, very modern, and it's like a sophisticated minimalism that she brings to the palette. So, and Tina's accolades, she has been in Elle Decor, the Wall Street Journal, Architectural Digest.
Wow.
Yes, in 2018, she was voted the 2018 New Wave Designer by House Beautiful. She was a rising star of the D&D building in New York. The way we met Tina was actually through a show house as well. And it was for the Valerie Fund and Grace's House that was done in 2019. And for that project right here, we did the window treatments and all the pillows. So you can see here how beautiful and how like it's just simple. And she chose that dark green color. And I remember when I first met Tina, and she was just showing me like the paint, like she had the swatches on the wall when the house was first in construction. And I saw that paint color and I said, Tina, this is the paint color that I'm kind of thinking for my own personal bedroom, because I had just moved into my home. And so the fact that I saw this really high-end interior designer had almost the exact same color picked, I was like, okay, I know I'm on the right track. Like everyone thought I was a little out of the like crazy for picking this color. And then when I was like, no, see, I just met with this really cool designer and she has the same color green. So we know we're going on trend. So for here, we just did, again, she has all these other things happening in the space. So for the window treatments, she just went with something that was very simple. It's still, even though it's simple, it still is very impactful in the space. So it was like a very lightweight, linen-y type of fabric that we just added a light filtering liner to. And then she really brought the pow and the punch with her pillows. I know it's kind of hard to tell here in the picture, but yeah. And this
a pound of punch.
Yeah, like a little, yeah, sorry.
Love that.
I'm a little out of it today. I had a little bit of an allergic reaction last night.
So before, I'm foreign, so I'm like, wow.
So if I'm talking a little funny, it's because my mouth is still a little numb from my allergic reaction.
You look great.
This morning I was like, well, I hope I can go on WTF Live today. And yeah, so I've had quite the, past 12 hours. Anyway, so yeah. And
the show must go on.
Yes, exactly. Numb mouth and all. So with this, what I just loved was being able, all the designers that volunteered and gave up their time to do this home and do this project for the Valerie Fund. And I just had such a wonderful time working with Tina on this. And it's if you've ever done a show house, like I was saying before, it's one of those things that you're like down to the wire trying to figure out like when it can get installed, when the fabrics can come in, overnighting things here and there to get it all done and make it happen. And I was just very happy with the end result. Of course, most of the time I see things in the beginning stages. So what this room looked like before, it was
complete, yeah, like night and day.
Oh yeah, completely
Yeah.
different. And so yeah, I loved collaborating with Tina and her team on this project, and I think it came out really great.
You guys did an awesome
Thank
job.
you.
So you guys, this is it for our show for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. These designer spotlights are some of our favorites. We usually do it once a month. We pick some of our favorite designers or those that we enjoy or aspire to or admire the most. So we really enjoy doing those. But of course, we cannot let you go without sharing some of our free goodies. And mine is a curated lookbook filled with inspiration, education, lots of different ideas, 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you steal, swipe, and use immediately on your next design project. And you can grab your lookbook at vitaliainc.com.
And for us here at WindowWorks, we have an ebook that Luann wrote. So if you are new to the window treatment game and you want to get your window treatment 101, head on over to the WindowWorks website and download your free copy of Architectural Digest is incoming 10 things you need to know about custom window treatments. And to keep up with all things WindowWorks, please follow us here on Instagram at WindowWorks and on Facebook at WindowWorks. If you are in the New Jersey or New York area and you have a window treatment or awning project, please give us a call. We would be happy to help. And we take all the guesswork. We focus on all the nitty details so you don't have to, and you can focus on other parts of your project.
Oh, and a little out of order, but if you'd like to keep up with Luann and know what's happening in the well-designed business podcast world, you can always take a listen to her podcast. It comes out every Tuesday and every Friday. And about once a month, once every 2 months or so, Luann and I have the original version of WTF, which is Window Treatment Friday, the audio version, the podcast version, out of which this live version was born. But by all means, welldesignedbusiness.com, and you will know exactly what Luann is up to.
Okay.
There
you go.
and there's my contact information. If you are in the Philadelphia area, an interior designer looking for support with window treatments, Vitalia Inc. is a one-stop, your go-to comprehensive resource, VIP treatment, white glove concierge service for interior designers ready to fly first class in the world of window treatments. So call me, DM, PM, email. We would love to support you on your next project.
Alrighty, everyone. So that concludes this week's episode. We look forward to seeing you next Friday and every Friday, because if it's Friday,
it's Window Treatment Friday live.
All right. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather that is coming our way.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so much for joining.